This is SportsCenter with Elle Duncan and Kevin Nagandi.
Hey, it's hump day, and also, Kevin, a lockout looming in Major League Baseball. Get the latest on what today's meeting forecast and what the outlook is dwindling for Dallas. PTI is back to discuss the Cowboys' chief concerns.
How about Mac Jones' mindset as he gets ready for the biggest game of his young NFL career? Plus, Brian Kelly explains why he left a potential playoff team for the SEC.
Does it just mean more? Joining us now from Irving, Texas, which is where these negotiations are actually taking place. And Jeff, we are 6 hours away, as I said, less from that deadline. What did today's meeting signal to you about where we stand?
Well, there's not much optimism coming out of the meeting.
It looks like that's coming. Everyone wants to know now, how long could potentially this last?
Well, that's the part of this that
294. While we did get baseball and while ratings weren't affected, we did see attendance records drop because of that lockout. Certainly, they hope not have an impact and can get things done before the start of spring. Before they start, Taysom Hill. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Taysom Hill going to start this game tomorrow night. That's what we're going to see. Okay, it is happening. How do you anticipate he's going to impact an offense that has been struggling?
Well, his asset is running the football.
Sort of prove that maybe he could be the heir apparent that they believe that he could be, as they gave him plenty of money to prove it. He's going to be facing a Cowboys team looking to get off the schneid a bit too. It's been a tough month for them. The good news is they're expected to have both Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb back. Where do you need to see the improvement starting on this offense to legitimize this Super Bowl run starting tomorrow night? We've already seen Ezekiel Elliott ask for the ball a little bit more as well. Hampered with injury, maybe that's not telling the full story of why they're not going to that well as much as they were. Keyshawn Johnson joining us here. He's not going anywhere. We got the key to stay all night.
Okay.
Jen, who's joining us now, obviously this does not sound good at all, Timmy, when it comes to whether we're going to have this. Can you put into some perspective what this would mean for the sport going forward if we do, in fact, get this lockout that extends into the season?
Well, if it goes into the season, again, I think the players know that. I think the league knows that, but something we have to make sure this gets done.
We love that you always are able to offer perspective, and I think the folks at home, some of whom are younger, keep hearing the 94 lockout, the 94 lockout. That's the last one that we had. Can you put into perspective how long it took baseball to recover after that happened? And there was no way that the one point of emphasis in that 94 lockout, something that really stood out in terms of metrics, was fan attendance down and didn't recover for some years after that 94 lockout, whether ratings stabilized or not. Tim Kirchin joining us here. We're going to see him 11:15 Eastern on ESPN2 with Baseball Tonight special as they take us up to the midnight deadline of MLB CBA. It will be done then, and apparently it's going to take an 11th hour miracle for there not to be a lockout. They'll have plenty of that tonight. Thanks, Timmy.
Thank you.
To our former NBA champion, Kendrick Perkins is joining. I almost went Kendrick Poikins on him. Perk, what impressed you most about that game last night, specifically from what you saw in Phoenix?
Oh, it was that Monty Williams.
For him, K. Perk, but also a tip of the cap to Mikal Bridges, who did a great job defending Steph Curry. Speaking of dominant big men, not Mikal, of course, DeAndre, we've got a great Eastern Conference matchup tonight as well. Joel Embiid and the Sixers heading to Boston. Give me the one thing that you're going to be watching for in this one.
Oh, I'm staying with my big fellas. Look, Joel Embiid has happened.
The Celtics right now 2.5-point favorites in this game, playing a lot better basketball than we saw just even a couple of weeks ago. Kendrick Perkins joining us here to break down big night in the NBA. Thank you, K-Per. December 1st, and so our college football playoff reporter Heather Dinich is joining us now from Dallas, where she has camped out all week. And I want to go there with these meetings, Heather. Where does the management committee right now stand in terms of expansion talk? Following Heather, like we've been following Heather, you'll know that she wrote about the fact the future national championship sites have been announced already through the 2023 season. So for 24 and 25, still up for grabs. Should they be able to add those additional playoff games? They've got some flexibility there, but we will certainly see as we are remaining at a standstill. Heather Dinich joining us from Grapevine, Texas, ahead of what's going to be a huge Sunday in college football. We get to a special message from Dick Vitale leading into Jim Valvano's famous SB speech. It was an exciting day for ESPN. We want to share it, and Disney and Connecticut-based Children's Hospital, because it was a huge day, Kevin.
Yeah, it really was. Dan Orlovsky and I were joined by ESPN Chairman Jimmy Pitaro to launch the new addition to the Disney Children's Hospitals initiative with ESPN sports-themed patient gowns and care packages. 4 very special.
Part of V Week, you're going to want to see what is next. Like Dick Vitale talks about Jimmy V's famous SB speech.
As well as Dickie V's own battle versus cancer. We love you. That's followed by Louisville and number 22, Michigan State.